Hey everybody, welcome to the show. It is game one of the grand finals between jpak and Friends and Team Reflex. You can see jpak and Friends, as you can actually tell from the first person on the team there, clearly the blue team over here, and on the right-hand side for the purple team, we do have Reflex. Now, a lot of these teams, or I guess both these teams, I should say, are just a little bit unknown. They're not the teams that everyone knows. Just off the tip of their tongue, from the top of their head. Just these aren't like the immediately amazingly recognized teams like CLG and Team Solo Mid, but these are actually amazingly strong teams. Reflex and specifically are actually the winner bracket champions here in the grand finals. We're actually the fourth place team at MLG Providence not too long ago. And they're actually a very phenomenal team in that tournament. They had a lot of close games, and while the other team, jpak and Friends, I actually don't know a lot about them, unfortunately. I can kind of read the names here. Now, everyone, I had actually profiled them to look at their ladder profiles, and they're all 1900, 2000, 2100 players. They're certainly very, very strong players. They're all really individually skilled, but of course, individual skill only means so much in a tournament match. What really matters is your team play, your 5-on-5, and the types of compositions you run through. And you can see here that we're running through champion select as I talk about compositions. You can see the bans on both sides. I'm always interested in Zillion as a ban because it's always very entertaining to me because he's sort of perceived as this big, almighty tournament pick for North American teams. He just seems to like dominate the draft from sort of everything I've seen. And it's interesting to see like which team can play him because I'll see like he'd be this like coveted first pick type champion, where he's like super important and people are always worried about him because he seems to enable some sort of compositions and it's really scary. And then you'll see the team that's blue team who has first pick ban him because like, well, actually we don't play Zillion, so guess we gotta ban him. And I'm sort of interested by that because this is supposedly this champion that sort of dominates the game, and then top teams aren't considering him in their lineups and aren't practicing the champion. And of course, you like never see him in solo queue. So I find that kind of interesting. What I do see is pretty cool though is that rushed Skarner pick. The Rumble ban actually was aimed at the solo top player for Reflex, and also we're seeing Arknight, their AD carry, actually picking up Sivir. So we don't see Sivir a whole lot in competitive play. We see it once in a while. She's certainly there as a strong champion, but she's not this like every team must pick her all the time type thing. And I'm always sort of interested in seeing how that sort of pans out and what the champions people pick here. You can see that jpak, they have their full team set up here. Jungle Skarner, they've got the ranged AD plus support combo Tristana plus Sona. I like that a lot, and they've got this Nidalee and this Rise being picked up here. So you've got Rise probably solo mid, Nidalee up top. You can kind of go two different ways with Nidalee. You can go tank build, you can go AP build. AP is the most common, but you'll actually see tank Nidalee a bit in solo queue. So you never know, you might see something weird there. But also looking around, looking at what Reflex is picking up, they've got Sivir and Soraka is actually a pretty strong lane. A lot of sustain there, just like with Sona Tristana, but also a lot of free mana to be given over to Sivir, which is actually pretty cool because she can actually burn through her mana pool pretty quickly if she wants to. Can do a lot of damage there, and of course has that AOE, that nice giant AOE movement and attack speed buff. And actually that makes a whole lot of sense when you've got Jungle Nocturne and possibly solo top Tryndamere. They're champions that rely a lot on auto attacking, and of course they do have this mage pick of Scion, so they do have some magic damage, but they're relying a lot on physical damage here. Sivir really does only physical damage, has no source of magic whatsoever. Tryndamere the same way, no source of magic damage. Nocturne has it from his tether, but otherwise, RQ, auto attacks are all physical, so armor is a pretty big deal here. If all really Reflex has to do is shut down Scion, and they just have to stack armor and they're good. And the good thing about them is you've got champions like Skarner who want to get Wriggles, probably a Frozen Heart. Rise the same way, you're probably going to go for a Frozen Heart. Nidalee should be pretty safe, and Sona and Tristana should be far in the back. Of course, Sona has that nice aura for armor and MR that's really powerful there. But you've got actually a really, really nice comp here. I actually kind of like... So I like the synergies here on Reflex, but they've got this big glaring weakness of if they can shut down Scion. And I think Rise is the lane that can do that. You've got amazing ganks here from Skarner, where, Sion can toss a stun at Skarner and run away, but Rise has a CC as well. He's got to be a little bit careful here. Rise also has exhaust, which means they can still set up for that gank, and it's going to be a little bit scary here. So we are into the game, unfortunately, 50 seconds in. And you can see that Reflex is actually already pushed in aggressively. They've actually invaded the jungle right here. Tryndamere in the front here in this brush. And you're going to see Nidalee and the rest of jpak of blue team actually wafting around over there. So you can see there is Nidalee charging into the brush first, but Sona actually down below, rather nearby. So, Reflex is kind of splitting the difference here. They've actually pinged. You can see Sona right below there, and then you can see Nidalee off on the left-hand side. They're moving around. They've kind of almost found her. It's going to be a little bit close. They've still got Sona down below. And they're just waiting. It could be kind of anywhere. The pings go off, actually. There are pings on both sides, and they're actually moving forward, toggling the Fog of War a little bit, but Nidalee actually coming down almost into range. And actually, you can see Ryan, actually Nidalee, sorry, just off screen, missed her a little bit, but that is a pickup right there. Walked right up to Sion and everyone else, and Sivir actually picking up that first blood. Everyone else in that team did pick up some kind of assist credit. So right away, Reflex off to a great start. They've killed that solo top. Of course, Nidalee is going to summon our teleport. You can see the cooldown ticking right there, and has teleported to that top turret you can see on the mini-map. And we're going to go ahead and watch as jpak and friends, of course led by team captain jpak, who's playing support, leading his way towards the bottom of the map. But Reflex and Purple, they've already invaded the jungle quite successfully. You can see as we toggle the Fog of War around that they can see these champions come back into lane, but that Nocturne is still counter-jungling, and he's actually taken the Lizard already, so that is a nice advantage there. But wow, Triss doing some nice damage, hitting up Soraka a decent amount here. So we're going to see how this mid lane goes. I think this really does determine how the game will go. Of course, Tryndamere can snowball into late game. Sivir is a giant AoE beast. Any AD jungler like you see from, and of course they're half tanky as well, but between Skarner and Nocturne, these are champions that can take over the game as well. I mean, certainly, each team does have 4 semi-carries or hard carries, but again, I just feel like if you can stack armor, it's a really big deal. And I'm sorry that I'm repeating that a couple of times, but that will mean a lot here. So we can see the top lane actually pretty even, although you are seeing Nidalee getting pushed out, though she's not getting killed. She's going to be the last hit. Actually, wow, there comes Tryndamere, 160 on the crit, already dropping her to 1/3 health. That is a scary place to be in if you are that cat lady. She's going to last hit pretty successfully, though. You can see she's at 8 so far, but it's push, which means she has more minions to last hit from. You can see that actually probably pan out quite well. You still see Sivir pushing around, just killing these minions as best she can. And it's going to be a farm fest at the bottom lane. There is room for aggression here with Tristana. Rocket Jump and Explosive Shot are extremely good at stopping the damage output, or rather, stopping the healing output. And we'll see if Reflex can blow up that shield. Yep, just pushing out onto Azalal, trying to push down onto that Rise. And there's the heal comes out. And these are the kind of the moments when you might want to jump in there onto that enemy champion. Of course, Sivir does have Spell Shield, which will block some of that damage output, but that Soraka heal is a very, very large cooldown, which means if you're paying close attention, you can get a lot from harassing someone at a between those 20 seconds, the 20 seconds of that cooldown, and getting a ton of damage output that way, and that can be extremely powerful. So Nidalee still last hit. You can see 17 last hits to 20, not far away at all from this Tryndamere. So the first blood not setting her back too far. Yes, 3 minions does matter, and yes, an assist on a first blood is another 70 gold or so as well, but it's still completely winnable. You can see, yeah, just toggling the Fog of War around. Skarner, just not really going to go for a gank here onto Sion just yet. Does not quite feel safe there. And Sona just constantly going up for the harass, and then, of course, just spending the rest of her mana healing herself and Tristana back up. So she has some kind of nice free damage output there. But Tryndamere, I think, is getting ahead ever so slightly, little by little, against this Nidalee, and that is pretty important, of course. Bottom lane, of course, still a bit of farming as we look around the mini-map. You see pretty standard aggression on both sides. Tryndamere is not actually jumping in too often, which I think is a little bit surprising that he's not pushing it as much as he was before, because he's actually got Nidalee down to half mana so far. And that was pretty much only from the 1 or 2 pushes. So, and you figure he's probably got a chance here. Oh, and a nice jump in by Nocturne. Actually uses the shield to block that. But look at that. The ping comes in from Nidalee. Actually could tell that her trap was claimed by that spell shield and knew Noct was there. That is actually impressive there. That's some great map knowledge there by Nidalee, knowing that was happening. Some good push out from Sivir, though still another spell shield burned without much gained in response. You can see, yeah, that trap is gone. You can see Tryndamere is missing. Of course, she can't see what's happening there. Has to be a little bit defensive, and at this point, you really want to, as Tryndamere, not push that lane. You want those minions to push as far to your turret as possible. Although actually Nocturne actually going to be flanking around through the brush up top. That could be actually pretty useful right there. And yeah, he has actually snuck in, does have that lizard buff. And of course, you can see Nidalee cannot see into that brush. She has no idea that he's there. She is not yet level 6. And oh man, that is a Nocturne. And he's right there. He's ready to gank you. Nidalee is not going to be in a happy place. You can see Tryndamere actually playing a little bit farther back. You can see he's actually not pushing in and spitting down these minions. And you can see the minion wave is pushing up. But the thing is, Nidalee is 1 minion from 6. She is now level 6. There's Cougar Form, jumps in. A little bit of harass there. And actually, Nocturne still waits. They're really just not going for this. There they go. Gonna jump into this one. There's the exhaust. The flash will not quite go for it. The fear does go out, and they could go for the dive with a nice amount of damage here. No, they're actually going to back off, and Nidalee going to heal. And they're going to be like, actually, I'm not a level 6 Tryndamere. I can't do this. Because Nocturne was waiting in that brush. She shared the experience, and so Tryndamere did not get level 6 when Nidalee did. And that's actually rather important. So you see Nidalee has recalled back, and she's actually teleported back to the lane again. So she's perfectly fine. Doesn't really miss a beat there. But you can see the experience is in the advantage of Nocturne, as he was 5, and Skarner's still not quite there, only 4.5. So you can see bottom lanes, look at the minion counts. Let's see. So Sivir at 41, Tristana at 53 though. So actually bottom lane, a good last hitting here from jpak and friends. And actually, while we still are in game 1, let me reiterate something real fast. This is game 1 of the grand finals. This is a best of 3 tournament. So one thing to point out though is jpak and friends are coming from the losers bracket, whereas Reflex are coming from the winners bracket, which means if Reflex wins 2-0 or 2-1, that is it. The tournament is over, and Reflex does win. However, and there's a jump in. Actually, Nocturne's stealing that golem and jumping into Onion Bagel does push him back. So a nice little steal there. There's a Nidalee. Nidalee's got to be a little bit afraid here, but should be okay. She's got Cougar Form. And no Javelin's going to come out. Okay. But as I was saying, so if Reflex wins 2-1 or 2-0, game over, they win the tournament. But if jpak and friends actually do them better, if they win 2-0, 2-1 in this series, then we get to a second best of 3, and the winner of that best of 3 will win the full tournament, and that is going to be, excuse me, and that will be actually extremely important there. So we'll see just how that plays out. As we mill about, we can see still no other pushes happening just yet. Nocturne had a couple of exciting moments there, but he's kind of back. Probably actually getting pushed out a fair amount by that Nidalee. She's doing a pretty good job of messing with him. Yeah, doing actually, wow, great job of actually pulling the minions over and last hitting them away from the turret. You can see just how she's pushing them around, and just the AoE spam actually doing a lot as well. And she just does get every minion. Of course, she does lose some health for that. She's down to half HP. Tryndamere looks like he did go down to the river to drop a ward there, looking for the jungle gang. So you can see actually there is a ward actually. If you look at the minimap, there's a purple ward right by that golem, which means that path is really not available. And another one at the river near mid, so they can actually really watch if that jungler leaves at any time, basically. So that's going to be pretty powerful there. Meanwhile, Nidalee looks like a number of traps in that triangle brush around that right-hand side below her lane. Onion Bagel recalling again is level 6. That will be very useful. And actually, I want to point something out that could be really interesting looking at this lineup. So they have extremely good poke. They've got Sona for the sustain. Tristana's got long range. Ryze, not amazingly pokey, but he's a little bit above average for a basic caster. And if I didn't mention yet, those Nidalee spears are pretty crazy. And of course, they have 2 healers here with Sona and Nidalee. So their poke game is quite strong. But if you initiate, they've got great anti-initiation. So they've got Sona Dance, they've got Tristana Buster Shot, they've got the Rune Prism from Ryze, and they've got Skarner ult. And actually, looking at the sort of the setups here, you could like Skarner pull someone into like Buster Shot. You could theoretically, like if you catch someone out, you could basically ult them as Skarner in the position Tristana to push them even farther back. And I would love if that actually happened here. I want to see if there's like something clever here as well. You've got like, oh my gosh, Onion Bagel getting caught right here by Sion. Ryze is in the fray as well, but Onion getting, oh my gosh, feared right on top of him. There's going to be a kill, and they're going to jump onto Ryze, but they jump too soon. Ryze actually just flashes over the wall, and he is safe, but there's a nice little free buff there onto that Sion. He's going to be happy about that one. But there's actually a couple of things that that Reflex can do as well. They've got the movement speed haste from Nocturne. Of course, Sivir can add to that. They've got Tryndamere who can kind of heal bait. He can heal himself 4 times if you count, you know, his Q, and then Sivir. Actually, no, sorry. Soraka has Summoner Heal plus Astral Blessing plus Wish. So they've got kind of super Trynd heal baiting. They've got kind of Cyan can do the same. Actually, and Cyan also has his ultimate. It's going to give him attack speed and lifesteal as well to his team. And there we go. Reflex picking up a dragon as well now. So they're completely controlling the map. It's going to be a 16:40 respawn on that one. So 16 minutes 40 seconds. Expect dragon to be back up. And they're actually controlling this map right now. They're up 2-0. And let's see, which team is better late game? Well, Sivir. Well, let's put it this way. Cyan's not getting shut down, so Reflex is better late game. They've got that giant synergy between Tryndamere, Nocturne, and Sivir, which you can kind of just buff everyone. And actually, that helps Cyan a little bit as well. Now, he's going to be AP Cyan. Actually, sorry, let me stop. There's a big fight going on here between this Needly and oh my gosh, okay, there's the ult in. He's going to chase. It's going to be a little bit scary. He's got to dodge that Javelin. He's going to be okay. He actually heals up off these minis. He's going to be safe, but that Javelin could have actually sharked that kill. That would have been pretty amazing. But even though Cyan's not a huge auto attacker, he's got decent basic attack damage because of Enrage, and you give him some attack speed because of that Sivir ult, and actually going to have some nice stuff going on, and probably actually still getting pushed around. And actually, Ryze coming around for a gank, and of course, probably has no ult, and he can't see that Ryze is here, although they probably called the MIA, and there is that purple ping, and he's like, hey, come. Okay, now there's a ward down. Yeah, they did see Ryze. There's a ping on Ryze, and of course, Ryze pings the ward. Oh my gosh, there's a dance, and they actually pull up on the Sivir. Can they do it? Push! Yes, they did! Look at that! Through all of those heals, look over at Soraka. Wish is down, Summoner heal is down. You guarantee Astral Blessing has been used. Oh, I can't believe it. They actually did it. Oh, that is too glorious. Oh man, Soda dance and of course they have Soda for the move speed as well on a Skarner, so that's always entertaining. I'm now moral victory just right now, a moral victory for jpak and friends, because they pretty much just ruined the day of that Sivir, and now I'm happy. But yeah, excellent play by those guys. Great kill picked up there. And of course, the thing is, they can repeat that every 2 minutes, no problem. Good luck. Yeah, okay, you can Sivir spell shield. Barely, but that's it. The thing is, and the reverse thing about that too is Sivir has cleanse. You can't cleanse a Skarner ult, so you can't do much about it realistically. You could probably like cleanse the dance then flash away, or cleanse the dance and try to spell shield Skarner ult. So she's got the ability to get away from those setups, but doesn't matter. That's moral victory as far as I'm concerned. Game 1. jpak and friends. Yeah, of course, Sono Dance sets that up. They can do the same thing as well with if they do it right, like they could do like a Tristana R. Like this is super difficult, but like Tristana can Buster Shot into a Needly Spear, or Skarner can pull someone into a Needly Spear. Like there's all that kinds of things going on where Needly can stay really far back and just chuck one out there, like ping the location, and then Skarner can pull someone to that spot. Like there's a lot of little things you could do with Skarner that can be pretty entertaining. And the thing is, this Needly is last hitting quite well. It's actually keeping up entirely with Tryndamere, and Tryndamere is considered this very, very strong laner. He bullies a lot of people out of lane, but Needly not buying into any armor whatsoever and doing just fine. I've got to hand it that Needly player playing an excellent job of withstanding one of the greater bullies in the top lane. You can see Tristana still 113 CS, actually only 82 on Sivir, so jpak are actually doing quite well, and again, for being down a Dragon and a First Blood, they're only down 1,000 gold. And if you do the math on that, it's actually pretty good. That basically means that they're out farming, because they've got to kill one side or the other. Dragon is worth 975 gold, and then you got that First Blood kill is worth like 700-ish. So they've managed to basically make up 700 gold through better farming, and that's really, really excellent from them. There aren't any towers on either side, so it's not from anything like that. They really just managed to CS that well, so that's very, very excellent by them. 60 versus 88. It's certainly not from the jungler, but it's Tristana being up almost 40 on that Sivir, and Needly is tied. Ryze 95 to 105. Yeah, I'm surprised that they're actually doing that well in gold. Maybe they have more gold for 10 quits or something, but of course Needly just pouncing around. You can kind of tell who's an experienced Needly player by how well they can like manipulate the minion waves and kind of push everyone away and just like chain farm. And you can sort of see that that's going very, very well. Just spam out from Ryze, doing a fair bit of damage here. Cyan just keeps on pushing. Of course, with blue buff, who really cares? He's gonna be all right. And bam, thank you very much. He will charge it through the Goddess. Has Catalyst as well, of course. And there's a jump again. And this is not looking good. Needly does drop down. Good job of that Nocturne ult, of course. Tryndamere having to pop his as well. And that's actually what you want to do, by the way, as a solo top Tryndamere. Or as a jungle Tryndamere. Basically, as Tryndamere, lead the dive. Lead the dive, because you want actually to jump in there and get low on health. First of all, oh my gosh, here comes the push actually onto Red Flubber. Gonna get caught up by Skarner. He will's gonna grab him. This is gonna be pretty painful right there. The wish goes off, but it might not be enough. The shield is on. Can he do enough damage? It's gonna be close. No, he won't drop down, but the ignite taking away onto Rise, and Rise will fall down. That is a trade, and of course, thanks to that wish from Soraka, Soraka gets an assist credit. And the way that actually works is, despite an amazing gank from Skarner, that went equal. That was just like a sort of equal like situation where it's like, yeah, okay, whatever, that's a thing. And in the meantime, actually, Trinivir did push down that top turret, so they are actually growing that lead now. They're up 2 kills thanks to that gank, and then of course they got the turret. And now into mid as well, they've now pushed down 2 turrets in a row. But unfortunately, that bottom lane is not going well for them. They finally broke 100 minions onto the Sivir. She is farming decently, but still, it's 141 to 109. That is a 32 minion advantage, and that is not bad at all. That is actually some very decent gold. You can see Tristana with some great items. This is sort of like the really big make or break point. You see Tristana has like 2 Doran's Blades, a BF Sword, Zerk Greaves. Sivir's got 2 Doran's Blades, Zerk Greaves, and a BF Sword. Okay, so she did actually just buy. I think she actually just went to buy, so she just got them now. Before that, she did not have them. So yeah, so these items are equivalent. Dragon, of course, helped quite a bit. Sivir did get that 1 kill. Oh, right. First Blood. I was like, man, she's losing that lane. How is she keeping up in gold and items? Well, because she got First Blood and her team got 2 towers and a dragon. So the 30 minion kills have managed to keep up with the First Blood, bonus gold, towers, tower, dragon. Anyway, Dragon is back up, and here comes a push actually right onto jpak. He's going to dance them away, and here comes Onion Bagel as well. This could be very, very dangerous. There are 4 right here. There comes Tristana. Oh my gosh, he actually blocks it. Her spell shield does stop that Skarner ult. Skarner was unable to get that one. Nice try there, and actually, this is the one case, and the thing is, Skarner, by the way, is actually maxing Q and W and nothing in Fracture. This is like the one time you actually want to put one in Fracture is to break a Sivir spell shield. That would have been a guaranteed kill right there, and they would have gotten the combo again. You can see Tristana, her Buster Shot is up. Sona did hit that good dance, did have that haste going on. Was going to be useful, but that was just not enough there. Anybody coming around again, and they're actually afraid. So Needly's off on the wings. They could do some good damage here, and they will push them back. That Q from Sivir doing some nice damage, but they're going to be safe. Oh, wow. She's lucky she went to go heal someone. She would have gotten Javelin to the face right there. But looks like going to survive, and there is a ward in that brush. Javelin comes out. I just hit it. Yeah, I can't hit minion. It's okay. Azelon still farming it up, though, doing a nice bit of income there. And charging up that tier of the goddess for good reason. But Trist, dude, Trist got some damage. And that's actually a really good spear, too. Nubish down about 1/3 of his health. Not bad at all. We'll see what else these guys can do. Probably still waiting around. Red Flubber almost goes out. Probably just takes a javelin to the face. Anyway, earlier I was talking about that Trinivir. If you're Trinivir and you're diving first, you want to do that because, first of all, you're better suited to tank a turret because you can tank down to 0 health and then pop your ult, and then you've got another 6 seconds or 5 or 6 seconds of kind of not getting owned. But also, being at 1 health gives you more attack damage. It's part of your, I believe it's on the passive, not on Bloodlust. No, because the passive is in Fury for, so it is on Bloodlust, yeah. And most Trinivers rank Q first, which means they're going to get like 60 attack damage, something like really, really high from doing that. So that's extremely useful for kind of dominating there. And actually, here's a gank up in the jungle right here. Rise and Nocturne doing some fighting. And actually, here comes the rest of the team. Flash in from Soraka seems a little bit superfluous, but I guess they pick up the kill, so not too bad. But yeah, got to be careful about that one. They are actually stealing that jungle right there. And look at that. They've already picked up the red buff. And Scion being a little crazy here. Puts on the shields. He's going to survive that turret encounter, but and yeah, of course, he just blows up the minions. And they're going to wait for a minion wave and try to push down this turret. So here they go. You can see Skarner kind of farming it away and knows that he cannot stop them. And so Reflex doing a great job here. Have already picked up all 3 outer turrets. And I believe, if I remember correctly, they got that dragon as well. So actually a good play here by Needly actually counterattacking top lane. Although here comes Trinivir. It's going to be scary for her. Trin, of course, sitting away on these minions. Yeah, I guess he's going to be all right here. Just got to be a little bit careful about how this all pans out. Here we go. Onion Bagel just spamming down onto these guys, doing some pretty good pain. Yeah, just picking up these jungle mobs. You could tell right there by how that Wraith died right there that he's got at least 9 in defense for that clear. What's it called? for bladed armor there, making the minions deal damage back to him whenever they strike him. Yeah, actually, Reflex are just building a nice advantage here. They're up 3 kills, 3 turrets, 2 dragons. It's manifested as 5,000 gold, which is actually quite a lot. They're up 20% over jpak and friends, and they are definitely controlling this game right now, although this Tristana still very, very beastly. 1-0, 180 minions, just so rich right now. Very, very close to Infinity Edge. Just the crit cloak and the recipe to go. You can see Rise, his abilities right here. You can see maxing out Q and W. 1 point E. Looking over at Needly now, she's actually maxing. Q and E are of course maxed first, though I actually couldn't catch which one was first. I believe heal is what Needly seemed to max first. I believe so, but I could be wrong, of course. You can see those javelins could hit pretty hard, of course. And she's going to make her way back up to the top. They're going to see Nocturne, what he's been building so far. Yep, maxing out on Dustbringer, some good damage there. Putting a bunch into Unspeakable Horror, almost up to that max rank there for the 2-second Fear. And just the 1 in the W for the jungle speed. The attack speed is just, of course, very, very useful. Scion, of course, maxing Q and W. And actually, one thing to point out is at level 3, he put 2 points into shield, and then got Enrage at level 4. Over on a Sivir, she's actually maxing Boomerang Blade first, and then Ricochet second. You can see just going definitely for the AoE spam, and of course the rank 2 in the ultimate as she is level 11. Got Bloodthirster for herself, and actually that looks like it might be a Zeal next, as she's got the dagger right there. Looking over at Soraka, of course, maxing the heal, 1 point in Star Call, and then 3 in the Infuse for bonus mana to her team. And of course, only level 10, so only rank 1 on Wish. Now let's see what else these guys can do. And of course, Tryndamere, Mocking Shout second, maxing out onto that Bloodlust. So. See what these guys can do. Pushing things around. And there we go. You can see the gold right there. Definitely the richest on that team for jpak and friends is that Tristana, 6,500. Nearly wasn't far behind, but he had like 7k on like everyone. There's a Baron attempt coming in from Reflex, and they're actually a little far away. This is a little bit scary. Skarner does come by. He tries for it, and he stole the Baron. And there comes the Sona Dance. It's going to be a really good one, but Onion Bagel getting dropped. He does drop down to Nocturne, probably getting low, but of course he is Tryndamere. His ult is on a little bit early, though. He's actually at health pretty much the entire time. They've picked up 3 kills so far in response. Olivia Chachi, very, very low, trying to get away, is in that brush, and she's trying to teleport away, and Scion gets through with the shield. That is 4 unanswered kills right there, and the thing is, Needly could have just ran up and up and up and up and up and gotten away. That Sivir ult would have ended, actually had already ended, so would have been pretty much safe to just keep running up and pouncing away, but unfortunately 4 kills picked up there. A great steal from Skarner. The rest of the team went in there thinking they could say, well, look, you guys are not going to be in great shape. You just fought Baron. We have the Baron buff. We got this big set of power. Unfortunately, though, what it was Skarner basically just died immediately. Skarner couldn't really do much. You can see his ult is off of cooldown. He did try to use Flash, but of course it wasn't enough as Nocturne had already ulted onto him. So they basically fought a 4v5. And they really do need that Skarner to just like pull Tryndamere somewhere. If you lock up Tryndamere for 2 seconds, you are going to absolutely do enough damage to make him ult. And then once you've made him ult, you like drop 1 exhaust and you're pretty much good. You can see the item build here. He's got Infinity Edge and a Zeal, but he's not Merc Treads. He has Exhaust and Flash, not Cleanse. So an exhaust is going to work for full duration on that Tryndamere. It's going to pretty much cut off half the duration of that ultimate just immediately. So they really needed that Skarner to get in there, be a beefy tank, and of course you can see him building towards Sunfire Cape right now. He's going to be beefy. But they need him to just soak up that Tryndamere and just ruin his day, and they weren't quite able to do that. That was a little bit harsh. So Tryndamere did manage to do pretty well that fight, 1-0-3. You can see Nocturne kind of the big carry there. Total of 8 kills and assist credits. Soraka the same way. Gave Scion that kill earlier on. That would have been a free kill without an assist. Or even an answer back, as Skarner had that great pull onto Scion, but thanks to Wish, of course, Scion got the answer back. Else they would have had a good chance to do that, and then stack some armor and be safe. You can see Needly building up, has that Rod of Ages going for a death cap next. Still a good amount of gold, but she's now 0-3. She's getting dropped down quite a fair amount. The only person to actually not die is that Sona. which is absolutely great. And by the way, guys, as support players, there are very few exceptions of champions that can actually kind of justify a death as support. And I don't mean this to poke at support players, because support players are awesome, and big kudos to everyone who plays support. I know it's kind of an unpopular role, so you guys are awesome for sort of being big team players there. But pretty much every support champion in the game is completely useful without sort of dying, and you can sort of see just giant crit chances on Crawley. Just pulling up the stats real quick. That Trinity is very scary. And yeah, it goes up to like 82% crit when he's got his Fury Bar max. So he's completing his Zeal into a Phantom Dancer away from 100% crit in a team fight. He's already got Infinity Edge. That is scary. That is very scary. And that means he will kill a lot of people. Basically, and this is actually sort of like gameplay advice for supporting. I even like to poke fun. Is that you're basically very effective without being in range of enemies at all, because, for example, in Sona, the heal and movement speed buff, you can be 600 range away from your team and still give them everything. Certainly there's the, the Q is does some damage, and, you might want to be around for it, because, of course, it helps. And you've got Power Core the same way, where, putting in those slows, those damage reductions are very useful. But, there is something to be said for keeping your oracles the entire game and not risking it. That can actually mean quite a bit there. So I gotta kind of hand it to jpak. In a game where your team has 9 deaths, to be at completely 0 when he didn't pack. Let's see, I believe. Okay, he did pack Flash and Heal, but he's not able to check Flash's brush with Clairvoyance. He's been able to enable one of the 2 kills for his team. The very glorious giant dive, where they kind of just destroyed the heck out of that Sivir. But it is worth being a little bit cautious. And of course, of the 2 deaths on Reflex, they're on Sivir and Scion. So those carries are getting targeted. And of course, Soraka doing a great job of not getting caught either. So not getting caught is just it's an extremely valuable tool for everyone. And generally speaking, no matter what role you are, having the most deaths usually means you made a couple of mistakes. So just remember, it's only worth it if you actually got more than 1 kill for your death. Anyway, Reflex just kind of running the map right now. They've got 5 turret kills. Of course, that Baron was stolen from them, which made the game a little bit closer, but they're still up about, what is it, like 8,000 gold, 8,500 gold. That's starting to get a little bit out of hand, actually. Reflex are looking to be in great shape right now, and this could be very scary. Yeah, probably just farming away on these minions. That Immortals could get caught. Actually, nice little play by Tristana. Manages to steal a couple of those away. Says, they're my wraiths, don't you dare. Actually, Skarner is right there. And actually, Skarner getting caught up there by Tryndamere. A lot of damage of it coming off here. They will stun. He's going to back off. He's going to be okay. Doesn't have a ton of MR, so you can see that Scion dealt some pretty good damage there with that Cryptic Gaze. And there, oh my gosh, they're going for the flank. A ward is down. Tryndamere can't quite clear it, but they have a Soraka with an Oracles. They're going to be okay there. You see they're dropping these down. Wow, those Javelins completely pushed through that shield, of course. The only kill the shield, his health is fine. See how they can handle this. Could be scary. Alright, yeah, they're going to just push up towards the top. Good amounts of pain going off on all sides. And you can see, yeah, Nocturne's going to head up towards the top. There's a good job there by those minions. Good job by the minions. You killed the turret. Yay! But, excellent play there. Overall, I don't know if it was actually, if there was actually a push coming on at some point by jpak and friends, or if it just happened to sort of just the minions stacked up. But they did manage to do some good work. They've at least got themselves a turret kill. That is pretty useful. That might open up some possibilities as everyone gets a little bit of gold there. But they're actually timing the Baron respawn, and there it is. And they might go for it almost right away. Looks like they're just gonna wait around it. There we go. Scion opens up on it. And here comes the damage. The Sivir is going for the damage up, and of course they have no wards anywhere nearby. It's going to be almost definitely a free Baron here. Heal comes out from Soraka. So much life steal coming out from everyone. There we go. Baron is done. 37-16 the respawn. And literally almost face-checked a brush right there. That would have been bad. But actually, Tryndamere actually has found Skarner. He's going to flash over the wall, but there comes Nocturne. Skarner not going to be in a happy place. He's going to get feared right there. The damage output comes on from everyone, and you are, in fact, gone. The push in from Soraka and Sona, or not Sona, Soraka and Sivir both. Sivir popped their ult, and Sona did run through with the Shurelya's, so they picked that one up, and I think Lauda's gonna farm bottom. I think actually if I were Reflex, I would push that second turret right there. Actually, Sion left alone to take blue. That's very, very unsafe. If there was any decent ward control there, although I don't remember which path Soraka took. Maybe it was cleared of wards already. But you basically just sort of risked your AP carry to getting caught and allowing a counterattack 5v4, Baron buff or not. That could have been a little bit scary there. You can see Skarner about to revive, and that could mean a lot. So they're going to push down towards the bottom. You can see Nocturne just kind of pushing around and doing a lot of damage here. There are minions in range, which means this turret is going to be a free kill right here. Wow, this Nocturne actually 196 minions, quite far. Actually ahead of Sivir. They're going to keep pushing on. Wow, there comes Probably pushing the top and actually just ignoring Onion Bagel. He's completely ignoring the damage output from that Skarner. And wow, the shield blows up. More minion kills. Looking pretty happy for them. Oh my gosh, Javelin just hit Sivir in the face for half her life. They've got to be a little bit careful here. Reflex getting ready to push in though. You still got that Baron buff for about 2 minutes left, so they did finally have that Tryndamere top push work for them. They did break down that barrier. And oh, there's the pull onto Red Flubber. They did not pull him back far enough though. He flashes out, gets Soda Dance, but he did not really get picked down by that team. Onion Bagel's in the front taking a fair amount of damage here. Lauda takes a Javelin to the face. He's actually got to get pushed back right there. He's got no health left. Newish now getting shoved out as well. Good kill there by Tristana. They've got to worry about this Tryndamere a little bit, but actually with the red buff they can do decent damage. The Phantom Dance is getting him out of the way. Doing a decent job of that one. And excellent fight overall actually by these guys. They did manage to pick down. They almost got that kill on a Nocturne. He was one spell away. I'm still surprised by that pull from Skarner because he grabbed him and then kind of stopped moving. And that would have been so massive if he had actually managed to drag that Sion farther into that team and pick up that free kill there. You see he has no durability at all. He didn't go Merc Treads. He's got, yeah, okay, he's got, 500 ability power for that shield, of course. It's not bad at all, but that's still, it's only a shield. He's got no real innate mitigation. I mean, that would scare me as a Sion player to get pulled in like that. So, but they're doing a good job of this. You can kind of tell they're pretty happy with how this is going down. He managed to pick up a kill unanswered. Baron buff will be timing out in just 1 minute now, which means it's only 4 minutes from respawning. And it looks like Reflex actually is going to just group together for another push. You can see, of course, that top turret is gone. The inhibitor is laid bare, which means that they can kind of just push in and not worry about turrets. They can get an inhibitor for themselves. Bottom and mid, of course, are only one turret to go, so they can play some kind of poke war potentially. And Newish, of course, wearing 2 gold pretends still on top of his already completed Shurelya's Reverie. Skarner doing about, just picking down onto these rays. Good damage. Rise taking a little bit of that gold. Rise could use level 16. It wouldn't be too bad. Let's see what these guys got. So, running back and forth, holding themselves safe. Just watching Skarner mill about. You see Reflex still up 13,000 gold, and Baron is coming up like in 3 minutes. And actually, they might catch Red Flubber. They just popped the movement speed buffs. Shurelya's was used there, but they actually didn't chase. I'm a little bit surprised at that. Oh, because they're getting counterattacked. It's a good call. As here comes Tryndamere pushing the top, and yep, he is just going for it. And of course, Soraka coming around from the side as well. Just wanting a little bit of support. There comes the Summoner teleported from Needly. And of course, it is not enough. Whew, another Javelin comes out there. Sion and Sivir still nearby. Onion Bagel getting cleared. Probably got to be a little bit careful. Does dodge that Javelin. Looks like Reflex is getting ready for a final push, though. Let's see if they can do anything about this. They do want to get some good damage output. Certainly, the longer this game goes on, the less 13,000 gold actually means. be a little... Whoa, wow, Sivir just took that one to the face. But she's actually gotten, you know, a nice heal from Soraka, and of course, the MR aura she provides helping her out a little bit as well. And wow, actually has a Giant's belt, so gonna be happy with that one. Alrighty. Let's see what they can do. Oh, Sion's gonna push through. A little bit of damage up going on. And yeah, that's going to be a nice golem buff picked up again. And Baron, I think, is only respawning in 1 minute from now. They are pinging the jungle down there. They do need wards, and they're waiting around, but unless I'm mistaken, I think Baron isn't spawning yet. I could very much be wrong, of course. No, actually, they've kind of left Baron, so I think they mistimed that by 1 minute. The Trinity pushing through. Yep, he's got Oracles and Guardian Angels, so he is just like, yeah, I got Infinity Hits, Phantom Bouncer. Now I'm going to build tanky. Now I'm going to build utility, because I do enough damage now. Tristana, definitely a very, very painful champion. Someone to be very afraid of. Javelin's just not quite hitting their marks just yet. And actually, and the one thing is that even though they don't have any hardcore initiation aside from just like Scion stun, they've managed to they've really not been kept at bay by these pokes so much. They're not really getting completely crushed at Reflex. They're actually in pretty decent shape. So we'll see how this pans out for them. But they're going, looks like, yep, the gank coming in here. They do know that Baron was there. They're on both sides of each other. Wow, the Javelin does just barely smack her, and there comes the jump in from Nocturne. In the middle of everyone, Soda Dance does go out, and looks like Crawley is just chasing down everyone he can. Did already push back Tristana, getting harassed on a little bit here by this Rise, but looks like Skarner has fallen down already. Tristana pushes one back. Nidalee still around there. Javelin just misses. But they lost one, didn't pick up anything for themselves. Tridamir's ult should still be up. It is, actually. But now they've got a 5v4 and the ability to push down even more damage. And, oh, they're actually, instead of going to push, they're going to go for Baron. And this is actually pretty much free for Reflex. You can see Trindamir, because of the minions, how they're pushed, they do know where jpak and friends, where those players are. And so they can send Trin to go push aside, and they're able to just take down this Baron with really no issues, knocking out Sivir, doing great damage there. They picked that one up for free. And actually, again, you can see some Sivir with the Stark's Fervor is helping out again. Pretty much everyone on that team, aside from that Soraka, of course, they could have gone support and Gangplank. That really would have been everyone. But, you know, Sion does benefit a decent amount from attack speed, so I can't really hate. And actually, Sion goes for a late Rod of Ages. I'm a little bit surprised at that build, but we'll see how it goes. Probably, wow, getting pushed down a little bit hard by that Trist. Trist is hitting hard, gets stunned there. Has to be a little bit afraid. They've gotten the turret down. Javelin comes out, only gets a minion. See if they can get any more damage out from here. Trap comes down, does not quite land on anyone. They've lost now 2 inhibitors, and they've not really pushed them out of the base yet. They're still trying to spam Javelins as Nidalee doing what she can. But she's not gained any giant advantages for herself yet. 16,000 gold the difference. 8 kills. Equal... No, it's +1 now on Baron. I think this is the 3rd Baron death. And pretty much every dragon in the game, I think that's actually Trinamir soloing it. He did, in fact, do that. See another kill going down there. And now 17,000 gold apart, and that is really, really, really massive. That's I mean, that's like a third. More than 25% at least. So this is getting really, really difficult here for jpak. I mean, certainly they've got that one turret, they got that one Baron steal that's helping them. And because of killing sprees, if they get some comeback kills, they'll be in better shape. But they're not managing to get enough done right here. You can see blue team is sitting in their base. They can't do much. They've got no map control. There are oracles on like 3 or 4 of the enemy champions, and by 3 or 4 I mean like 1 or 2. That's Soraka and Trindamir. Nocturne is definitely very beefy right now. But heal moves and wriggles. Has Frozen Mallet Knot as well. Looks like one more item to be completed. Might be Guardian Angel. Tristana is one of the scariest champions on the enemy team. Although Rise, not really a slouch either, has some decent damage output. I'm a little bit surprised at the Sork shoots, but it makes some sense, and let's see what these guys can do. Rise looking a little aggressive. Ooh. Javelin's coming out. They might push in, actually. Nocturne's far. They're going to go for the 5v4. The Shrillius comes out. No, they've managed to catch up, and oh my gosh, you were taking so much damage. Goodbye. You are very much dead, Mrs. Soraka. So they've picked up one, but now they've got to be afraid of their base because Nocturne has pushed down quite a fair amount here. Immediately will push that one away. They picked up one kill for an inhibitor, and now Reflex are looking to push the bottom of the map, and they're like, you know what? I think it's time. We have no Soraka, but I think we can go for this. They're certainly staying around. I don't know if they're waiting for a misstep or if they really are just going to back off for now, but they've closed the gap on gold a little bit because of that. And of course, they have pretty much free farm in the minion waves as well. You see the Reflex are not able to farm top or mid lane at all, but jpak and friends are able to quite easily, which means they're going to start growing up a little bit in gold and experience. Because level 18 of pretty much everyone, except for that. Actually, wow, Skarner and Sona not at all 18. That is actually pretty important there, although the carries are. But you can see, you compare Skarner 16 to Nocturne 18. That's kind of a big deal. Let's see if they can get some more damage output here. Trademir going back up towards the top, and actually he is going to be able to farm this wave out. Because of the map control, they're actually able to farm these waves right after they spawn, and that makes that minion wave, that minion push so much stronger the next time around as well, because I mean, it's really taken no damage at all from these minions, and they're just still poking, and I'm surprised, with Soraka dead the entire time, they still stayed on the offensive, and Soraka's just kind of running down and running down and running down, trying to get over to her team. And Reflex are just waiting. They're able to just fold through these minion waves just immediately. Look at that. Just not even any effort required. And let us see. Oh, a lot of Mortis puts on the spell shield for no reason. Doesn't need it at all. Tristana getting some good damage output. And they're going to jump in here. They've jumped on a Triss. She's at half health already. And there comes Trademir right from there. And oh my gosh, the damage output is massive. Looks like it's going to be a... oh, Nocturne getting pushed back. Rise has fallen. They did push down Skarner as well. Looks like Sona did make her way out, and of course Tristana with the rocket jump, flash, everything else did make her way out, but Reflex are into the base. This is not looking happy. Probably getting pushed around a lot. Look at that damage from Triss. If she wasn't pushed away right away by Sion, that would have been very, very scary. But that is the Nexus, and that is GG. Reflex taking game 1. We're going to be on to game 2 in just a little bit.
Victory!